Hey, what's up, good people? Good people, good people. How you doing? What's up today? Hi, hi, hi. Hey, welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. If you're new to the page, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. Please don't fall for spam on any social media. I do not DM. I don't do any of that, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. This is different from me. I don't go live this time of the day, but I just got in from a funeral. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to talk about a few things here, and then I'll probably answer one or two questions, and then I'll see you guys again in the morning, Wednesday morning. But today I had to go to a funeral. It was my wife's great aunt, Aunt Betty, which we loved her dearly. Aunt Doris, I'm sorry. We loved her dearly, and she was 97, and she has earned her wings, and she's gone on to be with the Lord, and so we bid her a good flight, right? Good people, good people. Okay, so that was my Aunt Doris. Sweet, 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 loving, people-oriented person. Just the type of woman until her dying day. If you were in the room and there was a crowded room, she would make you feel like you were the only one in the room. Okay, so all right, let's get here. Hey, there you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to keep this one as brief as possible. So the Dow was down. Let's go right to the charts. All right, as we could see here, let's go here first. No, I'm sorry, good people. Let's just go here. Now, we see that the Dow was down. Actually, the Dow was down a lot, almost 400 points. And we see the S&P and the Dow was down. NASDAQ was up a little bit, but the Dow was down a lot. And the question is, thank you so much. Thank you so much. A life well lived. A life well lived. So here we are. The Dow is down a lot, but here's a but, and let me just go to, let's go to Tesla, right? We'll talk about Tesla, and then we'll talk about Bbby, AMC, and those type of plays, right? So let's look. Why was Tesla up today? Tesla was up, as you see here. Strong vehicle data out of China helped to bring in some buyers following price cuts. Tesla's China EV registrations were up 12,654 for the week of January 9th to January 15th, in a big jump from the week prior. So a lot of you guys know that Tesla has been slashing prices. You know, it sounds like one of those shows. We're slashing prices. And so that's what's happening with Tesla, right? So Tesla, you know, there is you guys that don't know that Tesla, I believe, is somewhere in the area of 25% are in China, right? 25% of their sales. That's huge. Here in the States, all EVs are still in the single digits, but in other countries, they're in double digits. So the question is, Tesla has cut their prices. What their plan is, they'll cut their prices and they'll sell more cars. And the more cars they sell and the more cars people see, the more cars people want. Question is, are they cutting their margins? Are they cutting their margins? So if they're lowering prices, that was a lot of good things into lowering their prices. Excuse me, I got a cough coming on. It's the thing about being live. And we're back. So the thing about lowering their prices here in the States is that now they could start to price in where normal vehicles are. Of course, EVs cost more than normal vehicles, but they're starting to lower their price range. We do know that Elon Musk has been promising a lower price Tesla forever and a day, which he has yet to deliver. Okay, he's talking about a $30 and $40,000 Tesla. So if he can get Tesla down to 40, he said 30 at first, but let's be realistic. If we can get a $40,000 Tesla, late high 30s, 40s, then people that are not EV lovers can start to consider and change their minds, right? But the question is, margins. Are they lowering their margins? So if we lower our price, then we have to lower our costs. And I say the data that will prove that will be in Q1. And that's why I'm trading Q1. So a lot of these companies are going to be releasing guidance, all right, forward guidance. And some companies are not even going to be even releasing guidance. And so for me, I will tell you this as far as Tesla is concerned. People say, hey, are you still waiting? I'm buying while I'm waiting. I want you guys that are new to understand that I have been dollar cost averaging since the beginning of last year. And for those of you that don't know what I'm dollar cost averaging in, actually, I'm going to leave that at the end of this video. It'll be in this box. For those of you that are on a cell phone, I'll leave a link. So you'll see a link. I want to make sure that everyone knows my dual plans on buying. So I'm not buying any big chunks of Tesla. I believe that regardless of what the stock market is doing right now, these run-ups, especially in these meme coins, that it does not change my plan. So I'm still dollar cost averaging every single day into Tesla and Apple and Google and all of my portfolios. I have 3 portfolios for those of you that know. It's called the Larry Jones $5 a day challenge. So I want you to fully understand that I never stop DCAing in that. And what that is $5 a day. That's what it is. I'm doing $10 a day per stock. You just pick the best 5 stock for you, right? So let's go back into the charts and look at something else. Let's look at what else happened today, right? So why is this that here? Here's what's going on with the Dow. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell today as investors struggle to keep building up on early 2023 momentum. All right. The blue chip index lost 392. Where is it? Goldman Sachs. So we know that banks are reporting. Banks started reporting last Friday, right? But Goldman slid 6.44%, right? But this is what you got to see. Worst earnings miss in a decade. You cannot turn a blind eye to that. So regardless of if some stock are running up, remember, I've been saying here and others have been saying that we could be heading towards a earnings recession. Remember that, earnings recession. So don't get caught in a short-term trap. So look at this. It reported its worst miss in decades. You do know what a decade is, right? So if we keep getting earnings like this in an environment with higher interest rate, the Fed is going up, 25 basis point is priced in February 1st. If he goes 50 basis points, he will wreck the market. The market will tank, and that's when I will just be buying, okay? But what I am personally waiting on, remember, I'm dollar cost averaging, so I cannot miss the bottom because I've been dollar cost averaging. But what I'm waiting on to buy big chunks of stock is Q1 earnings, because I believe we have a lot of surprises coming, okay? So now, let's see what else. Let's talk about, and then I'll answer a few questions. So let's look at this. Let's go right back here and look at this. BBBY is up 13% today. But look at down here. Look at AMC. Look at that. 20%. GameStop, 6%. Look at that. You see that? AMC, 20%, Bed Bath & Beyond 13%. So Bed Bath & Beyond is heading towards bankruptcy, right? Remember that. Bankruptcy. So what I'm saying is, here we are now. Some of you guys, let me go here. Some of you guys are chasing a bankrupt company, a company that's heading towards bankruptcy. That's cool if you know what you're doing. I've played this game and I've won. If you know what you're doing, okay? If you know what you're doing. So What I'm going to say is be careful. Set your stop losses if you're in any of these plays. Remember, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, and GameStop right now are not investments, okay? Because they're all in trouble, and they're not trades. They're gambles. And I have gambled in all of these and won in all of these prior, but not right now, right? Because we're in a bear market, in a recession, heading towards a deeper recession, I believe. Now, that is not 100%. There's a slim chance that the Fed could avert a recession, but that's a very, 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 very slim at this point, okay? And so I want to be crystal clear. Now, I believe it was one of the videos I made over this weekend. I said that there'll probably be a pile on the next trading day, which was today, because some people are late to the party. They're just hearing about it. Me, if I was in this play, I would have been in it last Wednesday. And I knew about this last Wednesday or Thursday. So I could have definitely been in by Thursday. But it's gambling, so that's why I don't talk about it right now. If this was a bull market, I would have, just like I did last bull market, I would have said, hey, family, this is risky. But this is what I'm doing. You guys that's been with me know that I did that. But now, watch what happens. Keep your eye on these stock this week. Keep your eye on them, because the more people that pile in, the faster it's going to fall. Let me get to the right camera. The faster it's going to fall. So you say, Larry, I'm in AMC, or I just bought BBB last week. What should I do? Set your stop losses. So I just want to get you guys as much information as possible. A stop loss is not 100% because it could blow right past your stop losses. When I do plays like this, and listen, what I'm going to tell you is not, if you're new to trading, it's not a one-time deal. You can use this every time. Whenever you get into plays like this and you know this is a gamble, then you need to be using a trailing stop loss, because the trailing stop loss is going to work for you better. So I'm talking to everybody that has AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, and GameStop. If you got it and you're up 100%, then set a trailing stop loss, because if you set a trailing stop loss, make sure you buy these in a broker that has a trailing stop loss, okay? So something like this, you want to buy, not necessarily in Webull, something like this you want to buy in Moomoo or Fidelity or whatever you have, all right? I'm not sure, but I believe Robinhood, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop calling them that. I believe Robinhood has a trailing stop loss. Make sure it's a trailing stop loss, because if these continue to run, right, then you could set a trailing stop loss at 10%, 20%, right? So let's say you're up 110% and you set a trailing stop loss at 10%, right? As long as it keeps going up, you keep winning. But if it turns around and it falls by 10%, it'll trigger your stop loss. And so now, why do the trailing stop loss, Larry? Because as long as it's going up, it'll keep going up. So if it goes up 200% or 210% and then it falls 10%, you still will trigger a stop loss and you will still be up 200%. Follow? That's what the trailing stop loss does. This is your order. This is 5% up, 5% down. This represents 10%. So that trailing stop loss operates like this, right? And so if it falls more than 10%, then it'll trigger your stop loss. But if it keeps going up, it just keeps going up with it, okay? For those of you that don't know how a trailing stop loss works, that's how it works. Use your tools. I like to use it when I'm in profit because it guarantees me profit. So for those of you that's gotten into it and you don't have these set, I would set these ASAP, as soon as possible. What else we got here that I wanted to talk about? So we talked about Tesla. We talked about those. We talked about why the stock market is down. And yeah, we talked about everything. All right. So where are we on time? We're at 14 minutes. See there, I'm trying to get you guys, I'm just trying to get as much information out there, and then I'll answer a few. Microsoft. Yes, absolutely. Microsoft is going to be huge. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Take your losses. Yep. Yeah, I actually have one on regular stop losses, but then I'm going to do one on a trailing stop loss. I did a trailing stop loss video on Fidelity. So if you're on my page here, if you're on my page, just go to my page, go into the search bar and just put in trailing stop loss, and my video will come up for trailing stop loss. So the answer is yes. Let me see if I could help you right quick. I want to get you guys as much info as possible because we want to make money. Nope. Nopers. All right. Sorry, good people. Let's see here. Okay. No. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. All right. Sorry, good people. I was trying to help you right quick. What else? Let me get one more in. What's your thought on Volta? I'm gonna tell you my I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on Volta. So we do know that they have yet to assign, unless they did it in the last few days, Volta has yet to sign a permanent CEO. It's always a warning. Remember, when the CEO walked out, that's not good. It's bad. But there's always a big but in the room, I know. But it's something about Volta, the way that they're positioning themselves. Remember, it's a penny stock at this point. So what do you invest? Pennies. So please do not put all your money in Volta. I say that every time. Volta is high risk, but Volta can also be high reward. If Volta is able to secure enough financing to last through 2023, then I believe, this is me personally, I believe Volta can be an absolute banger bull, 4-5xer. I absolutely do, because they're operating leaner, they've downstaffed, they're doing everything the way that they run their company, the positioning that they have with their charging stations. I just believe that they are set up to get a government contract or anything like that. So it's like a sleeping giant, but it has to make it through this year, and they have to secure financing. So I can't tell you 100% they will or they can. I don't know what their inner workings are, but I can tell you that they're the little engine that can. So just remember, small cap stock, small money, right? Charging stations. I'm consistent with saying charging stations will get beat down this year, but charging stations will be an absolute buy this year. And that's what I'm going to say about charging stations. All of the charging stations I'm going to own from here on out, I plan on getting this year. And when do I plan on getting them? When they are beat down the most. That's going to be this year in my book. All right, NVIDIA. I know a lot of people are asking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to be a long-term play for me. NVIDIA, all chips, just kind of have a little bumpy road ahead. NVIDIA have had some challenges, but I'm $5 a day. I put $10 a day every day into NVIDIA and started that last year. So I would suggest DCAing in NVIDIA and not worrying about NVIDIA for the next 12 to 24 months. But NVIDIA will be a beast. Okay. SQQQ. I'm not playing it right now. We're in this we're in this strange stage right now. Neo, you guys know that saw me a year and a half ago. I'm not doing Neo. I'm just not doing it. Yep, not doing Neo. Yeah, I was just there's so many other better EV plays for me than Neo, and Neo is a good company. I hope they make money. Me personally, I'm not doing Neo. Tesla, listen. I believe when Q1 earnings, remember, the earnings, we're going into what's called a earnings recession, right? Goldman Sachs just had their earnings. What happened? Worst earnings miss in decades, right? And so I'm not saying that Tesla will, but remember this, good people, when big tech reports, not Q4 earnings, but Q1 earnings of this year, after big tech reports this year, then I will feel more comfortable going in, whether I miss the bottom or not. I'm not trying to catch the bottom. I'm just trying to catch stock at where it works for me. You do your due diligence, but just know that I've been $10 a day every day since January of 2021, and 2022, and Tesla is one of them. Ford is going to be an absolute beast in the EV space. So Ford took out of the gate. GM is smarter, so they're thinking about margins. Ford took off and just like, let's just get something out there, right? So that's the difference between GM and Ford. So I will tell you that I have both GM and Ford, but I believe because of the PE and where the pricing of Ford and their aggressiveness to grow, when we get into a new bull market and Ford is more focused on growth, I believe that Ford is the sleeping giant for EVs as far as the U.S. is concerned. Yep. And somebody said Neo is trash. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not in it. So, yep. Mullen, it's just so many other EV plays that are just so much better to me than Mullen. Mullen is one of those ones that I would just be swinging the rest of this year. But I'm not in Mullen. So Mullen is not part of my EV portfolio. I got in Mullen earlier last year, made money, got out, and thank God I was out. And so whenever I feel like that about a stock, I'm not holding it long. And sometimes you make money on a play, you just need to stay out, right? Take your money and run. Hey, bless you. Thank you. Yeah, NVIDIA is a monster. NVIDIA is a monster. Ford is a monster too. I mean, you got to think about infrastructure. Like Tesla still has to build out these giga plants. Ford already has it. Ford already has distribution. Ford just has to figure out, they have to make more models than the F-150. They just going to start cranking out models. And here's another secret. Ford had the technology to do an EV before Tesla did. They just didn't release it because of their partnership with gas. And so does GM. All right. I'm going to keep telling y'all the truth until they come and get me. All right. Let's see here. One more. Yep. Ford is fire. Fuel cell, actually, I like fuel cell. And I have a little fuel cell. Uber got hit. Uber Eats jumped, of course, during COVID because people, Uber is one of those ones I believe long-term. Uber is a solid company. So I wouldn't bet against Uber, right? Gold. If we go into a true recession, as you guys saw last week, gold was making a comeback. But if we go into the deep recession, should I say, then gold will come back, right? Morning. Uh, Cashing up or buying? Well, I'm doing both. So I challenge everyone to, I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video. So it's live. So I'm going to leave a link of my $5 a day challenge. I give you about 20 different stock, right? You pick, and you don't have to pick from there. I want to be clear. I'm just showing you guys how to take $5 a day and invest it. And those you never stop. So what I did was I gave 3 portfolios, and I just gave you a array of stock that you can $5 a day in. And I showed you how to do fractional shares, right? And those, you pick the top 5 that's best for you, and you never stop. I don't stop when it's down. I don't stop when it's up. And just be committed for the next 7 years and watch what happens. Yep. Meta, unfortunately, has got so much more. I know Meta turned around, bottomed out, and made a pop. But Meta, man, until Meta comes back to its core customer, like Tesla, and the only reason why they both abandoned their core customers and they both had major problems. But Meta will win. But remember, $11 billion they just messed up. Meta's got more downturn. I'm just going to tell you right now. I don't care what the price is right now. Meta still has more problems ahead of it. And it's not one of the ones that I'm $5 a day in. I don't think I am. Yep. But Ford EV is not that great. No, what you got to understand, in the EV market is going to be slamming in the year 2025, right? So do you wait till 2025? No, you start buying now while Ford is cheap. Follow? And then when it comes up, listen, Ford is working on so much EVs. Ford only has the truck, right? But they've pledged $40 billion. I know they pulled back and they stretched the timeline out, but they pledged $40 billion towards electrification. So in 2025, you're going to be glad you started DCAing right now when Ford goes up, right? So remember, we chase fear, we sell greed. Hey, I'm going to just cut it right there, good people. Listen, make sure you check out the links below, all right? I believe that Webull has a hard stop loss, but as far as the stop loss that I was talking about earlier, you want to download Moomoo. So I'm going to show you guys this. If I can bring this up, I guess it won't come up. Wow, this is weird. Sorry, good people. I was trying to bring this up on my phone, but it won't come up. All right. Sorry. Hey, if you're on your cell phones, just click the link below and follow the links below. I will be leaving a link to my $5 a day challenge, because this way it doesn't matter what happens to the stock market. If we've already bottomed, and just remember, this will be a year for stock pickers, not entire sectors, but stock pickers. Tesla can be up and all the other EVs can be tanking, and vice versa. So now this year you have to be wise on what stock you pick. And so that's why I always say the market will bottom out before the recession does. And some of these stocks have already bottomed out. Me personally, I don't believe it's Tesla. I know y'all gonna ask, you think Tesla's? No, I don't. I believe, the truth be told, even if it has, and even if it's higher, I'm gonna feel better when the earnings come out, and let's see what the data says. And remember, when Q1 earnings come out, the Fed will have already raised the interest rates for February, all right, and March. Right? So the 2 interest rates, right? And so we're going to see where the Fed is, and we'll see especially when big tech reports, we'll see what the reality is. Me personally, I'm good at buying big chunks of stock right there, right? I'm going to leave it right there. Make sure you guys check out that link and download the 2 links below, Weeble and Moo. Moo, I believe, has the trailing stop loss. And check out my video from yesterday. I show you how to set Moo to Moo Light. So it is very easy to understand, all right? I love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn. I'm going to try to go live in the morning. I'll see you in the morning. Peace.